Greetings, ghouls and goblins. Your favorite ghost host, DeadlyDrac, is back with another episode of Monster Man Reviews, filling your screens with terror. So beware, you are in for a scare. Today's topic is the filthy horror show Black Xmas. Now, I reviewed the original last week, and if you still have not watched it yet, I will leave a link in the description below so you can watch it for free right now on YouTube. So if you have not seen the original, watch it now. Now, I'm going to be covering the 2006 remake, which you remember I spoke pretty favorably of the original, but the same can't be said here, and it was released in 2006, directed by Glen Morgan and is starring Katie Cassidy, Michelle Trachtenberg, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Andrea Martin as Mrs. Mack, who played Phil in the original. 'Twas the night before Christmas in this tale. The movie tried to prevail, only to fail. The first kill was gory early in the scene. That wasn't all that was wrong in the story. Above all the mistakes, I didn't know how much I could take with this shitty remake. If you love eye-gouging gore featured by bland characters meant to be body bags, portrayed by a talented cast, only to be wasted by mediocre written material, with a dragging runtime so painful, the devil made me watch it in purgatory. It was a delight. Then this is the movie for you. Following the premise to the original, only bogged down, feeling like a copy-paste slaughterfest, but soulless, lacking chemistry between characters, giving full character depth to the unknown killer, Billy. On the holiday, Billy breaks out of the sanitarium to return home to kill. Sound familiar?
Oh, shit.
The sorority trying to stay together as strong as they can, even though they don't get along. Once separated, they disappear. Apparently, Billy is not the only one who wanted to come home. To start this off, I'm going to get right into my positives, but as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't as much in favor of this movie as I was the original, so I have very little good things to say about it. The most positive I could say is it has a great all-star cast. And the next positive is it does try to explore what the original didn't. And then the last and final positive is it somewhat has decent kills, and that's about as nice as I can say about the movie. Starting off with the first issues I've had with the movie was trying to show Billy's backstory was an interesting concept, but it was unnecessary, and it feels like we see him too much. Along with the dialogue was atrocious with some poor performances. And also, the gore is great in a horror movie, but when we see the same kills trying to go hardcore mode, it's a bit jarring with no build-up or payoff. Also, the padded runtime just makes you wish the movie knew where to end. Also, Agnes being the killer in the movie made no sense as to why would she kill at the house on the same night Billy escapes the sanitarium. The movie had me thinking that they were partners in crime, but no, just a coincidence. And finally, the ending bashes you in the head more than Leatherface's sledgehammer with no ambiguity, killing Agnes and Billy, with Katie Cassidy the sole survivor of this film. To put it simply, the film is a soulless form of product made for a paycheck, giving no suspense for pure shock value, and in that department, I think that's where the film succeeds, but lacks any comedic charm like the original. I know comparing is wrong, but you can't help the fact when the movie shares the same title with over-the-top gore trying to surpass the original. Had it gone for the alternate ending, I would have appreciated it more. This was a film that was meant to be entertained with the bloody ultra-violence. Before I get into my rating, I just want to put that I'm not a big fan of modern remakes of the last decade, though when it explores something new and goes in its own direction, that's when I'm mostly entertained by it. As I mentioned Billy's backstory, I will admit it was interesting, but unnecessary of a concept, like I said before. No doubt that's probably how Billy would have grown up, but I'm sure you, the viewer, don't want to sit through all the uncomfortable acts that unfold. And also, though it lacks any effort to build the tension, the gore is substantial. Also, the characters had no chemistry or near as much development as Billy in this remake to fill the body count, and would feel like plastic versions of the original cast. The film's 1975 release just gives you so much tension, lacking a backstory to Billy, but still is the most menacing. The kills had so much suspense, but effectively chilling. To this day, I still feel the sense of dread when Jess realizes Billy is in the house. Such terror intensity, along with the boyfriend red herring, I will admit, is clever. Okay, I'm kind of comparing again. Every setup delivers in a mediocre payoff upon rewatch. The boyfriend being set up as one of the killers was not as intriguing, and Billy breaking out of the sanitarium on the same night as Agnes made no sense, as I've mentioned. I couldn't stand the pacing of this feature due to the dragging carcass of a runtime. And like I said, the alternate ending just sounded more appealing simply because it's the only part the director knew to keep ambiguous. But to hell with all that. Might as well kill Billy and end this franchise before it starts. I already had to review this piece of shit. I will not sit through another. This movie, unfortunately, was not for me, but as for DeadlyDrac's rating, I have to give it a solid 2.4 out of 10. I truly hope you enjoyed this.